All right, dude. On to the intimidating tiger. Let's see if I can even get my leg over it. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Fucking ridiculous. Dude, it's like I'm up 20 feet in the air compared to you. I'm going to try to not drop your bike. Well, dude, the turn radius on this thing is a beast. I love it. Yeah, whenever you are. Oh, man. It's so smooth and comfortable. Oh, dude, the scrambler looks so good. Oh, it's so quiet. What do you usually ride in the RPMs on this thing? I was just curious because it's got like a sport bike kind of gauge here. It goes all the way up to 10,000. I'm riding at 5 and it feels like super comfortable, you know? You can feel how much more like high up you are in the wind, you know? Oh yeah, dude. Oh, it's so smooth, man. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Get a little bit of buffeting from your windscreen. Oh, standing up, so smooth, dude. Yeah, the standing on this thing is just perfect. You could just imagine this off-road, like. You could get yourself into trouble with this thing. Oh, it'll go. How's that scrambler feel? It's like being back with your old girlfriend or something. Well, I'll tell you, man, it's not every day that I get to see my scrambler, like, from a distance, right? Well, it's very rare, actually. It's never. And it's like the narcissist in all of us kind of wants to know how our bike looks when we're riding it. And it just looks so good, you know? And I can hear it from back here. It sounds good, you know? Because sometimes riding it around, I'm just like, yeah, there's some stuff about it that's just a little too stock. You know, there's other things that are kind of goofy, but then I see you riding it and I'm like, oh shit, that is like the bomb.com. Yeah, your mirrors are way too high for me with these bar risers. Yeah. Well, and I've also gotten very used to the bar end mirrors, so I'm used to like looking down instead of like looking up, you know. And you know, the seat is extremely comfortable. It's just a very comfortable place to sit, you know. Yeah, well, the thing I like about it is it's not just that the seat itself is comfortable. The thing that I think my banana seat, that flat scrambler seat, is missing is this seat has just enough lean towards the front of the bike that you don't feel like you're having to hold yourself up and on it. It's like it's just pushing you forward enough as the wind and the bike is pulling you back. You just feel comfortable, you know? Besides the fact that your fairing is actually doing a really good job protecting me from the wind. Although I feel like I'm a little bit higher up, so I'm a little more in the wind, if you will. It's just different, but it's all around better. It's all around better. I love it. Oh my god. You're going to have me buying one of these. Yeah, I would go to the KLR and be like, this is a poor man's version of this thing. Yeah, the price is definitely, that's the important part too. You get that cheap dual sport and you don't have to care about it, you know? You get something like this and it's like, I don't know if I can justify having all these motorcycles in my garage. Well, I can see why, dude. I mean, this thing is like got a freaking computer inside of it, basically, you know? It's ginormous. This thing feels monstrous after being on the scrambler. You know, the other thing that's really interesting is I can feel how fast the Tiger is just sitting on it. So in a lot of ways, I mean, I've said this a couple of times in other videos, and I've said it to you, but I really enjoy riding a slow bike fast, but riding a fast bike slow isn't as much fun. And so in some ways, like, I was riding behind you on the Scrambler, and I was like, yeah, this is a good ride, man. I'm having a good time. I'm on this, I'm just like, oh gosh, if we're not going 100 miles an hour, what's the point, you know? You can just feel how much it's itching to just like eat up the territory and just carve in, man. Again, it's the SUV thing. Just because it's got capability doesn't mean that you're going to use it. Doesn't mean you have to use it, you know? And as long as you're comfortable on it and comfortable where you ride, it's all good. Man. Oh, this thing is so much fun, dude. I see popping wheelies on this guy like no problem. Oh, I love the Tiger, dude. Maybe my next motorcycle. Who knows? This thing's sweet. Oh yeah. Yeah, I had read a lot of those reviews of the older Tiger not being as suitable an off-road bike. So okay, that makes sense. So the WP suspension from the KTM goes on the 2015 models and up, and that gives it a lot more, a lot higher approval ratings as a true off-road adventure bike. How do you? So is this this is not a mechanical clutch, or it is? It's so light. I'm surprised that it's a mechanical clutch. It's very lightweight. Okay, so throttle by wire, but mechanical clutch. I guess I can see it right here that it's a mechanical clutch, but it's surprisingly smooth and lightweight. Well, the throttle response is really good. Like I can't even tell it's ride by wire, you know. Oh, the I button. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice. Ah, look at that. Cruise control. Wow, man. So Gucci. Yeah, I would imagine so, man. I mean, it's weird with all the information here because I don't ride with a dashboard like this, like with a cockpit like this, so it's just overload for me. It's too much, you know. Yeah, like I'm like, oh god, I can't look at that. I got to pay attention to the road. But it is pretty cool, nonetheless, to be able to see it. Is it liquid cooled or it's water cooled? Okay. Oh, very cool. That's awesome. You got a gear indicator as well. I love that. I had seen it, but I didn't know what it was telling me. So yeah, I guess the thing that's so noticeable about the Tiger is between the high horsepower, the incredibly smooth off-road but adventure suspension, and like the nice comfortable seat, the bike feels like it is propelled forward on a bed of roses. Like it's just riding on a cloud. Whereas, no, it doesn't feel 500 pounds. It doesn't feel sluggish. Everything about it is just, you know, rolling over everything with smoothness and ease. Whereas my bike, the Scrambler, and I think a lot of smaller bikes and just other bikes, there's a certain level of resistance there where you can kind of feel the bike fighting against the tarmac and the road and fighting against the weight that it has, and everything about the Tiger is just feels like effortless. It's so effortless. Now I don't know how it would be in stop and go traffic at 5'9" with my legs trying to hit the ground, but you know, I think you just get used to whatever you ride, to be honest with you. Like in the beginning it's a little bit much, and then at some point you don't notice it anymore, you know. Well, I'll tell you, the key to riding the Scrambler well is to stay high in the RPMs. I talked to some folks that have them, and I think people struggle with the highways because they're always in 5th gear at 4,000 RPM, and I'm like, nah man, when you're at 5th at 4,000 RPM, I'm in 4th at 6,000 RPM, and I feel very comfortable. But you have to get used to riding it higher up in the torque curve than you would on something like this, where honestly you could ride it all the way from 3,000 to 7, and it's comfortable everywhere. On a day like today in these conditions, I'll comfortably sit around 4,500. Yeah, but you know, if the wind's really hitting me, I'll downshift and I'll sit at like 5,500, just a little above that. Yeah, I was just about to say, dude, in my opinion, the only thing wrong with this bike is you got to get some pipes. And I guess again, you just get used to it. But I'm so used to like getting that response, that feedback just from the noise alone, that it's weird not having it. Yeah, dude. What I'd really love to do is get like an old, beat up GS, since the Tigers aren't old enough, and find a tank that looks more like a Scrambler or Bonneville, and put that on there with like a single round headlight, and you know, get all that off-road capability, but have something that has the sex appeal of a better looking motorcycle. The hard part though is like everything is built into the cluster these days. There's so much electronics, it's really tough to remove anything without like destroying the way the motorcycle actually operates. Okay, here comes the real test. Coming to a stop on this beast, deciding if I'm gonna go 1 foot down or both feet down, or maybe no feet down. Taking around in the parking lot. I'm gonna hop the curb and see how this thing handles it. Oh, it's so smooth, man. It's so fucking smooth. Like, it's actually pretty annoying how smooth it is. Yeah, it's like my bike would have gone flying in the air. Oh, that swing is so much. No, yeah, dude. That's what I like about it. It's like you can really, you can intuitively feel where you're at in the power curve and all that because of the sound. Whereas when it's nice and quiet, it's a little like, let me look at my tach, you know? Oh, dude. Dude, it's outstanding. So good. Oh, that's a tall lean. Yeah. Are they waving at us? Yeah, she is.